First of all, thank you very much for coming here to the Hi-Fi show in Estoril. Please start to introduce yourselves.
First, I must thank you for being here and also at the Hi-Fi show here in Portugal. I understand that this is one of the first shows after a couple of years, so that's really good. We always enjoy shows and also the nice people that we meet there. So my name is Ingemar from TED Europe, and we are, so to say, distributing TED products in entire Europe. And this is Tarutani-san, CEO of TED in Japan. And we are here because our agent here, João, at X Audio, carries the TED brand in Portugal and Spain. And he has made a nice setup, I must say. So it's a pleasure being here. And we would like to introduce Tarutani-san to say a little bit about TED and TED's history. So.
Hello, my name is Shinji Tarutani from Japan. I'm the CEO of the TED from 2020. I was joined the Pioneer year 1988. The time was my career start. So year 2009, I shifted to the TED. The TED is actually subsidiary of the Pioneer. The Pioneer started from the speaker. It was 1937. The Pioneer is an old company to make it a speaker. So the speaker, it means the sound. Sound itself is a split of our company. That's why the Pioneer made the TED brand after 1973. We start from the professional unit for the studio or concert hall. That is the beginning of the TED brand. And this century, year 2007, the Pioneer decided to make the subsidiary. The name is TED. The time we are focusing the TED high-end audio, especially high-end audio, not general, it's high-end. So this is the kind of the history. So our split is of the sound itself. Now we started TED company from 2007 until now, 18 years this year. Now our position is getting better and better at this moment. And congratulations for the Portuguese show.
Thank you.
And this time we are introducing the new our speaker, the TED ME1 this time. This speaker is the most bestseller in TED history. So I think he will explain a little bit more about new speakers.
Can you explain us a little bit, because as far as I understand, this is like a big update regarding to the previous model. Can you
Yes, of course.
What we can expect in this new iteration
Yes.
of this model?
I'm not sure about how many knows about the technology behind the TED speakers and the engineers working within TED, but the engineers are educated inside TED, so it's like a philosophy. Why invent the wheel once when it's already been there since the beginning? It's an evolution all the time. That means that...
But it is your wheel. It's TED.
Yes, correctly.
Wheel.
It's the TED wheel, if you may say so, that has a continuation. So when a new engineer comes into the company, they're being educated in the philosophy and how TED sees upon sound. And that also makes it an evolution of TED speakers. So the ME1, when it arrived, was a very good speaker. And what happened next was that they do have a very, very good loudspeaker engineer, Nagatani-san. He's like a genius, I must say. He's incredible. So what he did then this time was that they have a technology based upon beryllium, which many loudspeaker manufacturers have today. The difference is that the ordinary beryllium drivers are stamped out of a plate of beryllium. What TED does is something totally different. They have a vacuum chamber, they infuses beryllium and shoot it into a copper cone in a specific jig structure. So that means that you can keep the tolerances extremely exact, and you can also create different bending patterns which takes down diffractions in the driver itself. So earlier, the ME1 speaker, the first version, was actually stamped beryllium. This version has vaporized beryllium, like in the other models, the CE1s and in the reference line. What this makes, you have lower distortion, you have less diffractions, the cabinet is much stronger, and they've also updated the baskets on the woofer. So it means it's much more rigid. All these things combined, when you look upon filter construction, evolution of cabinet, and foremost, the vaporization of beryllium into the driver. That means it's a very big upgrade. It comes very much closer to the upper models of the TED range, the CE1s. This is just a little bit of a short explanation about what has happened with the evolution of the ME1 speakers.
Okay. So this new model is going to replace the previous one. It will not be sold side by side, right?
No, not at all.
So.
When TED do something which is better, it always replaces the old model.
Okay.
So it's actually discontinued.
Okay. And you are presenting to the public for the first time these speakers here.
It has been presented at a show in Denmark, but this is actually then the second show it's been presented.
Oh, okay.
And it will also be played upon in the Munich show. Normally in Munich show there will be most high-end products, but as we see that TED speakers and all electronics is high-end, depending on how you define it. But you know, we love the products by ourselves because we love music. So it's up to each and every person to decide what they think is good or not. But we are proud and we know that the TED products are so good, so we will play and show that the small ME1 model will play in a large room.
Okay. So this was one of your objectives, to have a small speaker that can also fulfill a big room with sound.
Yes. And it's also a speaker which is easily placed, because there is one very big advantage with the TED speakers, that is the point source. It means that the driver itself has the mid-range and the tweeter in one point, and it means also that there is a very, very high dispersion, so the sound goes in 45 degrees outwards. It also means you can be anywhere in the room and it sounds good. So the energy levels from the tweeters is not directed, it's directed in a different way with good dispersion, so you can be in a corner and it still sounds good. You do not need to be in an exact sweet spot for it to create its best.
So for the same reason, I can imagine that the loudspeaker is much more forgiving, so to speak, for difficult rooms.
Yes, correctly. And that's one of the other reasons that the TED drivers are, so to say, built by an extreme precision with very, very tight tolerances. So you can work with them on different levels. You don't need to put them exact in the same position. So you can see if you have a problem with a room, you can of course use measurements and measure a room and then do things with that. But TED do not really think it's a very good way. You can utilize TED speakers as a tool to compensate by moving them in different directions to see where you get the right depth and you get the right sound that you prefer yourself.
Okay. So final question, just to clarify, you are now doing the public presentation of this new product in Europe. Is the speaker already available to be bought, or is this going to be phased in through the year?
It will come end of this month. It will be available for sale in the market.
Okay. Okay. Here in Portugal too?
Yes.
Okay.
It will be available in entire Europe.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming to Hi-Fi Show 2025. I hope to see you here again next year at the same place. Eventually with new iterations of products, not new wheels but improved wheels, as you explained.
It's always an ongoing process, and this is the part where we never know what happens, because the engineers in TED, they are working as a team. It always comes something new, and they do evolve products without saying anything, because they are proud of the product they have. But if they can do something a little extra, they do it.
So they don't have to be told what to do, they do it by themselves.
Yes, they do it by heart.
Thank you very much.
Can I just make one question?
Of course.
Or several?
Yes.
My husband, he doesn't speak English, so I'm speaking on his behalf. He's a huge fan of Pioneer since he's a little boy. So he's very keen on the sound of the specific high-end sound. He likes music, but he likes to hear it with clarity, with no distractions and disruptions of the speakers. He has on his mobile, his car, a special set of Pioneer, all Pioneer equipment, and he would like to know if that is on your near future or not. Will think to do something to put on car mobile. Do you think that will happen in the near future, or
No.
that's not your?
Of course, we were talking about put the TAD brand into the car.
Car out.
Yeah, but not now. But
Not
not now. But we should do that. We should.
Okay.
My dream.
Okay.
This is my dream.
His dream too.
Yeah.
Because like Banks & Olufsen and Carden, they already do it
Yeah.
in some brands, car brands. Maybe it's
Yeah. We are always talking about this issue.
a decision.
Putting the TAD brand into the car. But the problem is that TAD itself is tend to focusing the home audio. But we cannot make some definition. What is the TAD in the car? So what should we do for the car TAD? So we cannot find out the good solution or direction at this moment. But we are now always discussing what is the TAD in a car. What is needed in a car for TAD brand? So technology is totally different. Inside the car, they use some DSP technology to adjust the sound. But TAD itself don't use the DSP, just natural sound. But it's not so easy to make the same sound in the car. That is the difficulty to make the TAD. Of course, just put a TAD is easy, but it's not good for the TAD brand itself.
Okay.
Therefore, we are now deeply discussing what is the TAD.
Thank you.
Thank you for my dream. Oh my God. Someday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.